my kinfolk. Because this has gone through 2 trips.
We do not know when our S54 from PSI is going to be here. We are waiting on a finite timeline, but we are running out of time. So we are removing...
Don't worry about that.
We are removing our headers, and we're going to put our turbo manifold that we just got from Johan over there, and we're going to mock everything up so we can put the motor in the car, put the trans on without clutch, so the motor's sitting in its final position, and then we are going to start figuring out what we need for fabrication and see if our motor mount brackets are going to work and our drive shaft. So that way if we do need to order anything, at least we know now instead of waiting for the motor. We are also getting thrown a little bit of a wild card because this turbo is bottom mounted, so it is going to be down yonder, which we're not super pumped about because if you got a turbo, you kind of want to show everybody. At least I do.
Right? What's the point of having a turbo if nobody can see it?
So we're gonna mock this up just with a couple of bolts. Manifold's nice and ceramic coated. We can mock up our intake manifold as well. We've been talking to Jordan from RK Tunes, who's kind of giving us some direction on math location, blow-off valve location, all that stuff, because we are gonna be running stock computer. We don't have too much room for forgiveness. And because it's ITBs, we have to run a mass airflow sensor and not manifold air pressure.
And I have to make a wastegate spot.
And our manifold also did not come with a wastegate location. I guess it was designed for something internally gated. So we're gonna figure out if we got room to build a tube off of the manifold for the wastegate, or if we're just gonna weld it onto the exhaust housing of the turbo. So this way?
Yep. And just like that, you too can put an S54 and a manual transmission in your E46.
Yeah, it took us all of like 15 minutes. But I mean, obviously there's a lot more to be done and we didn't put a clutch in there and, you know. But by the looks of things, our shifter linkage is gonna be a little bit close, but we probably just shorten that Johnny up. Makes me curious if our drive shaft is going to be the right length.
Also, there's not gonna be a down pipe for this turbo, it's just gonna be a straight pipe because the turbo is literally gonna sit like right here. So it's just that way. It'll be nice and easy.
No way.
Oh, Billy.
Oh my God.
Look at
You'll
that.
love to see it. Where's our sign? M3 stock drive shaft in a sedan. If you use the M3 rear end.
It fits so good it don't want to come out.
Gotta get it out of every flange.
Sweet. For mock-up purposes.
Macchiato.
So anyways, I started mocking. Want to do it the other same direction?
Yeah, this is the front.
With 4-inch freaking hose clamps. Let's go.
Making so much boost that the rest of them will just literally just shoot into the intake.
Tire, wire.
We are getting down to the nitty gritty of it, and most of this stuff here is just gonna be plug and play, but we're using the OEM ECU. So I'm gonna try and get all this stuff back to where it was from the factory, which was a little bit more complicated than I thought, but thanks to the use of Google Images, we're back.
I got sweet Googling skills.
So, we got our sweet Koyo rad. We're all still sick from going up north in the cold. We're Florida people.
We got a cold from being in the cold.
Yeah, we're not built for this stuff. So, I'm gonna mock this guy up just to see how our fan shroud clearance and stuff is, because we are gonna reuse the OEM clutch fan, because that thing is beautiful, since this is not a drift car. Then we're gonna mock this up, then we can take measurements for our intercooler, because we are still in the process of ordering stuff, even though we're only a week out from having to have this car ready. So, wish us luck. Could you put those lower clippies in for me?
Would love to. Yeah, BMW. 2 little plastic pieces.
Love that guy. So, now we know our hoses line up. So we're gonna put our rad support on. But yeah, we got clearance to our radiator. I mean, it's tight, but tight's all right.
Yeah.
And look, AC condenser. You know why?
Because
Air
Florida.
conditioning.
Heater core? Never heard of one. AC?
If
Must
you mean
have.
a turbo cooler, then yeah, I do know about that.
Oh.
So why did you have to extend your coolant level sensor?
Well, our factory coolant expansion tank's over here, and then 3 ones over here.
Extendo.
Made it so it runs across here, and then it's gonna plug back in.
We have all of our wiring harness from the motor plugged into the ECU and everything over here. Chris got everything put back together, and then just draped over here. So when we pull this motor and put the better one in, we just have to plug and play.
Yeah, and we pulled all of the random accessories and stuff from under the intake manifold with the exception of the throttle bodies and actual engine accessories, so that way we can still do our intercooler piping and mock-up with this motor in the car. And also got our radium stuff in. So we have the fuel filter and pressure regulator setup that's down there, and a new clutch line from ECF.
I also have half of a turbo.
Where's the half turbo?
A half of GT35.
Oh, 1050. That's a really big John.
Big turbo, low boost.
That's literally the same turbo that's in the
Okay.
E46. Yeah.
Yeah!
Radium swag,
Cool.
love it.
Radium
All right,
swag.
so we got a fuel rail for an S54, which is pretty sweet. We got this thing up like a Taco Bell burrito. Oh baby, that's nice.
Look at that.
Swap that out when we swap our injectors
I
up.
like the mustard.
It's like Christmas over here every day.
Damn, that's sick.
So this little John comes with, Donnie, I made more trash for you. You look bored.
I noticed that.
Heat shrink and connectors and a hose clamp and a little hose, so we can put our big boy fuel pump in there.
That's nice.
So we went with this big Marlboro 525, which with our radium sleeve works right in our stock cradle. Strainer's a little big, but it'll still serve its purpose. Used our wires, connectors, zip tied the wires up so nothing gets caught on our way in, and it gives you little spade connectors to adapt to the stock wiring so you don't have to cut and splice, which is cool because you don't want to be doing shady stuff inside your gas tank. It's in like so, and like so, like several times. Yeah, so Radium cares about the environment. They put all their instructions online, so
In a
it's
PDF, so you just download it.
in a nice step-by-step setup. Oh, you're scrolling too fast, guys.
Sorry, I was trying to show Joel. So we are running out of days and running out of time for this S54 build. Good thing I didn't drop that on my toe. I don't have my boots on today. Still don't have a motor yet. We have all of our parts ordered, which is very exciting. They're all getting next day because Duarte loves the next day parts for us. Very excited about that. So in the meantime, we're gonna do the fab work on the backside of the turbo once the turbo gets in here too. Shit, we're missing a whole lot of stuff. We're running out of time. We're here to interrupt our regular E46 broadcasting for an F chassis BMW owned by our friend Jordan from New York. It made it through 2-3 drift weeks. She's a little crusty. So luckily, we just became the HGK USA distributor. So we're gonna set him up with new hotness.
Does your car look like this? Do you want it to look like that?
I do. HGK USA in stock. I mean, not every show car is a race car, but every race car is a show car.
Should be a show car.
This would make it show a lot better. Are you ready to really bang doors with your friends and not ruin your stuff? Check out the new HGK Carbon Kevlar. You can run into it and it just bounces right back.
Remember, there's a limited stock, so make sure you get it before they run out.
They're gonna run out. Hey, get back here!
So, Treadstone, check this out. With this beautiful intercooler, which is rated for the power levels that we are looking for. 3.5-inch core, so we are gonna have to trim a little bit of this aluminum radiator support, and then we're gonna make some brackets in because they actually give you these cool mounting points on the side here that we can incorporate in so we don't have to worry about the tabs on the top and the bottom.
Sick.
Give it a little bit of structure. We'll figure out where we go off of those, probably onto these factory bolts on the front dash bar. That'll probably be our best bet. I think our cut line is right on par.
Yep. So your boy did some El Chapo for Chris. Give him plenty of
Trim her on
room.
out, so we got like a little bit of wiggle room here. Works out just lovely. So I think we'll make brackets going straight off the sides and then going up to that bolt on the inner of the rad support.
So I made these sweet tabs that Chris is gonna later take off in.
I was about to say they're gonna get a little paint, don't worry. You're gonna leave it rusty and crusty.
Yeah, it all has to come out anyways because I gotta weld things on it, weld 90s on it. Well, maybe not, I could do couplers.
Alright, so Cricket did some finish trimming on the bumper here. Disregard the rough edge, we're gonna file it down, make it nice and clean. But intercooler clearance is right there. We did find out that our intercooler outlets are pretty close to the inside of the bumper here. And by pretty close, I mean they're touching. So Cricket's gonna weld some probably almost 90-degree bits coming off of there.
Yep.
Just keep our width a little bit wider so where our pipes come down, we don't have to go out and then back up. So yeah, we're gonna chop the tanks off this guy here and here, and then just weld our pipes coming off there, because this coupler pushing up against the bumper is not a good look.
No, definitely not. And that 90 will start to bend early right there.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It'll give me
It's
that
a little
extra
bit
little bit of clearance. We got some parts in. We still don't have our motor in yet. We got this adapter from the fabshop.com. They make it, it actually has the right V-band for the Garrett turbo. So you tell them what size V-band you have for it and what T4, T3, whatever it is, and they'll adapt it from a T4 flange to a V-band. So we got that in, which is really cool. We also got from Rally Road a different engine mount. So this actually arches around it so it makes room for the turbo. Actually have your intake come through it, so you don't just have like an air box here or little screen. You can actually use aluminum piping and put it up in, a little higher away from, water and whatnot. So this is really sweet by Rally Road. It just replaces the factory one, and we're gonna use this one shorter so it'll offset the difference of what this is. So it will be still factory positioned in the engine bay. So, and then we got in some more stuff from Chase Bays.
Got our adapter for the factory pump inlet. This adapter that mounts the reservoir onto the OEM bracket, so it still sits on the motor mount, but you don't have that little sloshy thing that always breaks. And it also has this cooler. It's a bar type cooler that's just going to mount right on the front of our crossmember. And very important for turbo setups, there's a hard line that runs. It's like an oil drain from the side of the cylinder head down to the pan. This already comes with heat sleeving, comes with the new banjo bolts and a little line retainer. So.
And gaskets and bolts.
Gasket.
Yeah,
I also
exhaust
got a whole-
manifold gaskets, new studs, new nuts, oil filter housing gasket, and an open flow thermostat.
And I got a whole bunch of cool vibrant stuff. We got a muffler because Adam wants it to look and sound stock-ish. Yeah, unlikely. But it's gonna look like it. It's just gonna have a little silver tip coming out the back. And then I got all my pie cuts for it. I have leftover 3.5 inch from the last build. I have like a stick and a half, so that's all we need to do it because it's only going from there to there. So it should be pretty easy. I can work on the hot side, the exhaust and whatnot after we change the engine mount first, because once we put the turbo in, Chris was saying it'll probably be likely impossible to remove the engine mount and put this one in without it being really difficult. So we're gonna do this first, mount the turbo, and then I can start doing fab work on the exhaust for the car. We ain't got the right engine yet. So at least we have that one in it. It allows me to do fab work.
What are you yelling for? Why are you so mad?
Babies wants the built engine. She says S54 built or bust.
Baby's not included.
Alright, so I just got in all of our parts from FCP Euro, and we cover a lot of aftermarket parts for your car, but FCP actually does all OEM stuff. So stuff that we don't carry, they have everything for your BMW. I'm going to be ordering a whole new interior for my wagon here shortly with them. But everything comes with a lifetime warranty. Here's the weirdest stuff. If you want to buy oil from them and get an oil change, you could be that guy and change your oil and drain it back into the thing and send it back to them and say it's bad, but don't be that guy. Everything else comes with a lifetime warranty. If it ever goes bad, just take it out, send it back to them. They'll send you a new one.
Even clutches.
Even clutches. We need to start buying Partes clutches from them. But everything we need. All of our gasket kit, water pump. Because the other one was seized on the S54 motor that we are currently fabbing up, mocking up stuff with. So everything's brand new. All OEM. Look at this. And they have a really knowledgeable sales staff to help you get the right part for your car, because everybody knows BMW, even if it's like a 2001 330, it could have 3 different things. It could be a CI, it could be an I, it could be an XI, it could have all sorts of different parts for it. So make sure you talk to a salesperson over there at FCP Euro. They will put you in the right direction, get the parts that you need for your OEM stuff. Check them out.
Vapor Hona, Vapor Hona.
Vapor Honer, Vapor Honer. I got a Honer.
You're a vapor owner. I'll show you a vapor.
Okay.
Typical vapor owner boy. I'm just gonna let you know one thing. It's going to get everywhere.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's gonna get in the springs.
Well, we're gonna give it a good pressure washing afterwards.
Okay. It's gonna get in places you don't want it to. Move nice and gentle.
Kinda like your
because if you hold it on one area too long, it'll get way shinier than you probably want it to be.
Yeah, and then you gotta
And then you'll
match
never
it.
be able to get it back.
Yeah.
Hoping for the best.
All the media setup
Came up a little short.
Right. So.
Go ahead and come in here, Joel. We want to show you this motor, how clean it looks. So we did a lot of polishing, a lot of cleaning, a lot of vapor honing. This is still the wrong motor,
Yeah.
by the way.
Well, we want to church it up for you guys for the invitational so you can at least see it and, you know, be a part of the process here. But
This-
unfortunately, due to some delays for parts on our built motor, we are not going to be able to finish this in time, which is unfortunate because this is actually the first time we have not met a deadline, but this time
Ever.
not in our hands. But
It was in
you know,
BMW's hands. And, you know, order parts from Germany might take a little while. That's why we love FCP Euro so much, because they have almost all the parts in stock ready to ship. So next time we're just going to put it all in their hands, and we know they wouldn't let us down because everything we ordered came in time. There was a couple ordered parts that they got from BMW that they needed, and they didn't show up. So they couldn't finish putting together our motor. So in the meantime, we have this one that we dressed up, got everything clean on. We're going to put the manifold on there and everything and have it set up. It just obviously won't be tuned because these stock motors cannot handle 700 plus horsepower. So it'll be just like the built motor will. It just won't be tuned for it. So everything else will be put together for it, mostly for the show at the LZ Invitational. So come down to the FCP Euro booth, check out the car. We were able to put all of their parts on the car. We're just going to swap them over to the other engine when it gets here. So
it's a good test fit.
yeah,
And so far everything fits. And it's all clean already.
Yeah.
So we even painted like our housings and cleaned all this stuff. We cleaned up all of our.
we got the right shroud.
driveways, fan
And guess
shroud.
what? It has a lifetime warranty from FCP. So if it ever breaks, send it back to them. They'll send you a new one. It's pretty dope. Really happy with that. And it fit perfect. Not like the other one. So I don't know if you guys have seen on Adam's channel, our car actually got leaked. This is our new beautiful blue 370Z. That matches his E46. As you can tell, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of noises going on. There's like 50 people here now. So obviously we're tied up doing a whole lot of other stuff. So the 370Z is done. It will be at the Invitational this weekend. Very excited about that. Make sure to spend your money. Every $5 spent gets you a chance to win this bad boy. And with everything going on, they're still waiting on parts for Adam's built S54. So we dressed up the one that we pulled out of the junker car. It wasn't really a junker car, but it was a loaner car. We took the subframe out, the rear subframe, the diff, everything, control arms, trailing arms, put everything in this car new. We needed to mock up, you know, the intercooler piping and everything for the car anyways. So we just dressed up this S54 and it looks really good. The only thing it doesn't do, it's not tuned and it doesn't have the wiring harness on it yet because we have to pull it off anyways after the Invitational to put the real motor in there. Parts didn't come in from BMW USA, so they didn't get enough stuff done on the motor to give it to us. So here it is. It's beautiful. This is what it's going to look like, but even cooler because it'll be a built S54 that can handle 750 horsepower. So we hope to see you guys there. Stay tuned. We'll have a lot of stuff going on, I'm sure. Hobson. As I said, there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I hope to see you guys this weekend. Like, subscribe, comment. And let us know what you think of the color. I didn't like it at first when I looked at it in the box, but as soon as Jonas started wrapping it, I'm sold on it. I love this color. I looks so good. Oh, hi.
Hi, Jordan.
Jordan's acting like it's drift week. Dude.
What's he doing?
In classic Jordan fashion.
Hey, you did say you needed a clutch.
But look at this. This is untouched.
Yeah.
Because it was worn down from the other clutch, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll see more of Jordan in the next
See this
episode.
limited shirt though? This is for everyone that likes verbal tunes. This is not an anti. A verbal tune is a pro verbal tune.
I tell you what, when we were